Wow. 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 Good morning, afternoon, evening. How is everyone today? Welcome to TAKOTIME. Hello. Hello. Wow. Is everyone doing good? Oh yeah. I was gonna keep Rupert for FPS games only, but he wouldn't. He didn't want to be separated from chat. Okay, so he's staying there. He's staying there now. Emotional support. Yeah, basically. Rupert is always welcome. Good, good. So in the members stream earlier, we finally came to the conclusion that Rupert is indeed an alligator. Yes. Rupert is indeed an alligator. Not a crocodile. An alligator. Hello! Yeah, how are you guys doing today? Rupert lore confirmed. True, true. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I could use a little bit more snacks, but that's for after. You know? So today we're gonna be playing... Well, I guess kind of just looking through Dagon. That's how you pronounce it, right? I can never be sure. It's a visual novel. It's pretty short, around 30 minutes or so. So it's gonna be a short stream. But you know, well, it's a pretty good way to just play through some story. Dagon. Dagon? Like, I'm always like worried about Dagon or Dagon, you know? So we're gonna be playing through that. And yeah. Dagon. Dagon or Dagon? Dagon. Dagon is easier to say. Dagon. 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 Vacant. Dagon. The day is gone. Yeah, so we're gonna play through this. Short stream, but let's make it fun, okay? Oh! Hi Ina and Takodachi, it's my birthday today. I'm happy I can spend it with you all. It's been an amazing year and I look forward to more. Happy birthday! Oh, and story time on my birthday. So many birthdays! Happy birthday! Yeah. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, should we get started? Let's get started. Start. It's an interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot. So there's not much movement, it's basically just a novel.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
During the gameplay, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Okay. You can also access all the facts later. They will be available in the main menu. Oh. Don't hurt me no more. Oh, so I can look around. I don't think I can do much else.
and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
No, don't do it.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Oh. Yabe. Oh, question mark. Sold without restrictions until 19... Oh, this is like a history lesson, kind of. Yabe. Very yabe. Okay. I am writing.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
We're in the ocean. Oh, is this a flashback? The name came from Morpheus. Oh.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
Oh.
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Oh no. Oh, question mark. There's a lot of text. Oh. Ah, reading. It's fine. We'll get through this. Like, the Huns as like... Like, the same as the Huns in Mulan? It is? Basically? There, no, yes, no? Oh, different people. Yes and no. Okay. There's like a history lesson here.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Oh. So they're about to escape. Food? Okay, food.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my
And
surroundings.
the ocean.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Oh. That's how people usually made maps back in the day, right? With the use of like stars and sun and moon. Yeah.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
It's scary being alone in the sea. We're adrift amongst the oceans. Oh, the moon looks pretty today.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Do you guys know how to survive if you're stranded on a boat in the ocean? You guys know how? First, you gotta find shelter, so you don't get sunburned or, you know, dehydrated from the sun. So you have to make cover for yourself. The second, you gotta find somehow how to purify the seawater, or find some sort of way to gather drinkable water. Yeah. If you have like tools, you can boil the water, but it might not be the case. And then you gotta find food. Yeah. They see an anime? No, I think I've seen a lot of like movies and read books about it and stuff. Probably. I think. Yeah, but making sure that you have cover from the sun and make sure you don't get cold is a very important thing. Yeah, don't drink seawater. Don't drink seawater. Seawater drinking bad. Oh. Is it water? I'm out of water?
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Unbroken blue. That's a good way to describe the sea. The unbroken blue.
I slept. Its details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
What happened when I was sleeping? Squid? Wait, did I... Is this land? Is that my boat? What happened? Is it edible? It looks edible, it looks fresh, it's alive.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Oh.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance
that
away.
Is my boat. Did we hit land?
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Oh.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
Oh. Oh, it's rotting soil. Must stink really badly, huh?
The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Yabe.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
I mean, I gotta say though, that looks cookable. I could find some fire. It looks like normal squid.
There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
What kind of fear?
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Oh. This is really atmospheric though. I would take a walk here. Would you? This should be familiar to you guys. It's basically the void. I will take a walk here with some rain boots. Hard pass. Ooh, squishy! This is
As I
basic.
crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
This is basically low tide, you know? Whoa, what's that? Where you can go into the what are this called? Like low tide places, and you can like get clams and crabs and all kinds of stuff. Okay, what happened here?
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval,
Volcanic?
a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to
Oh.
the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
Oh, this is the ocean floor. Oh.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
Oh. What is that? What is that?
Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Oh, it's like, did you guys know that if you drag some creatures from like the deep, deep ocean, the abyss, not really the abyss, but deep, deep ocean, they like depressurize in normal like atmospheric pressure and they become blobs, like the blobfish. Yeah, I mean trilobites. There might not be a trilobite. Trilobites are extinct, right? Unless. Oh.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Oh, that's good. We found shelter. Well, now I can see things a little better. Oh, there's a... What are those called? They kind of do look like trilobites, don't they? Ammonite. Mollusk. Ammonite. Nautilus. Something like that. But what is that? That looks like a starfish gone wrong.
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time. That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
To be honest, I'll be kind of scared to stay at the boat with the thing flailing around behind it. Whoa, is that glowing? The moon! I guess we gotta go get...
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
It's gone. Okay.
The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Oh. The odor of fish was maddening. Basically, the same as the fish market, wouldn't it be? I guess we kind of have to keep going. If the land's like the ocean, I was in the middle of the ocean, but I guess somehow I ended up here, the ocean floor. Just keep walking, walking.
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Oh, is that it? Would you consider this a desert? I mean, it's wet. There's some weird creatures. The ocean floor. Worse than the fish market. Oh, look, it's a king crab leg. Those are delicious. Could cook that. It's a lot of food.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Now this looks like... I don't know, what does this look like? Not really tentacles. It's more like... snakes. Any trivia? Worm. Oh, kind of like a worm, yeah. Oh.
By the fourth evening,
4
I attained
days!
the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Oh boy. That was a long
An
walk.
intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
What if it's like a living
Too
creature?
weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Oh boy.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night. But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Sleep no more.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
Yeah, babe.
And
Have
in
a
the
bad
glow of the
dream?
moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy. Indeed,
Oh.
I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Oh? Uh-oh. I feel like you shouldn't climb that.
Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Yeah, babe. Any trivia? No?
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Oh.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Yeah, babe.
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Yeah, babe.
I felt
there's like
myself on the edge of the world,
There's like a giant hole in the ground.
peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost,
Oh.
and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Oh.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Descent. Oh no, I wouldn't go down if I were
Whilst
you.
after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Oh no.
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze,
What is
I
that?
scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated.
It's so dark.
All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of
Is
me.
that a cube?
An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Pray to the cube? Question mark?
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone,
That's so
I soon
cut
assured myself.
perfectly.
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature.
Ooh.
A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express.
A monolith.
For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith,
Monolith.
whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Sounds very yabbit to me. That would be kind of scary. All of a sudden, in the dark, you see a giant monolith, and it just kind of glows a little bit in the dark.
The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps.
They're symbols.
In the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
Yeah.
Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith.
Cyclopean.
On whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Oh. Maybe take a closer look.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books. Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain.
Oh, the king crab and the worm.
It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Oh. Storytelling methods. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings, the Mountain of Madness named the city, journals and character notes, the shadow out of time, the haunters of the dark, island emerging from the ocean called Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies. Mi-Go and the Whisperer in Darkness is also considered the origin of popular Cthulhu mythos. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to the Dagon, but let's skip the details in order to not spoil the ending. Okay.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a
Dore.
I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men.
Oh, humans.
Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto.
Mermaids?
Or paying homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
So this one? This monolith?
Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
Do you perhaps mean this monolith?
For the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Some lovely faces.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
Atlanteans? The bottom one looks strangely familiar, as if I can see it in Movies Chat.
Glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
Atlanteans don't look like this, right?
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size. But in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
Asgura. kind of afraid to ask.
Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Oh. So they're quite big. Like if you think of the whale, it's like almost as big as a whale. They're not technically human, no.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
Yeah, mate.
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
So what?
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Get away from there!
Polyphemus and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith. About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Walk backwards! Don't
I
faint!
think I went mad then.
Oh.
Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
What?
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Ow! La 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 la. 98 bottles of Dr. Oopsie.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the
98
boat.
bottles of Dr. Oopsie.
At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Take water out and pass it around. Don't pass it around.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Oh, made to the ocean, the hospital.
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Oh,
In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
oh. So only he experienced it. There's so much words. The journalist. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his own journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. Howard was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticism to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again. For the first time since his teenage years, Dagon, published in 1919, is one of the short stories written during that period. This excerpt from The Conservative Master of Horror Fiction explains his attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Oh, there's so much words, I can't read it. Do you guys have hard trouble reading when everything is in capital letters? Yeah, it just seems like blocks to me. Okay. I have trouble reading all caps.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Oh. Wait, so the figure I met in that ocean was Dagon? Dagon or Dagon was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. Oh. The judge of the dead in Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warder in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, as in Hebrew the word dag means fish. An underwater ruling deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that reside in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Oh. Fish god. The deep ones. Different from the ancient ones, right? I think this is it. A cult?
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Arkham? Published many of his works throughout his company. Arkham House? Arkham Editions? Never heard of him. Okay, it really hurts my eyes to see all capitals. You guys can read this. Dark background and all caps. Not good for my eyes. Ugh. Anyways, basically takeaway, authors' works are often misunderstood and misinterpreted. Or misrepresented. I think I understand. Maybe not. Oh, clock? Is it me or there's no prompts? Oh.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
The thing.
I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Okay. Also a lot of text. You guys can pause it later and read it. Yeah, a bit.
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man-of-war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed. Worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Yummy.
The end is near.
The end
I
is
hear a
near.
noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Uh-oh. Is that my Uber Eats driver?
It shall not find me.
I told you to leave the food at the door.
God, that hand! The window! The window!
Uh-oh. Happy. Oh, that was it. I hope you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror. We'd appreciate if you took a moment to rate Dagon and check out the other games and DLCs. Wow. That was nice and short. What you guys think? That was interesting. It's quite short. But I think it's sometimes like nice not to drag it on too much. Yeah, it's a little nice nod to fans, I guess. Previous fans, new fans, yeah. No food. That was a very interesting atmosphere. Basically, I think what's nice about these is that kind of gives a nice, I guess, inspirations for creating something like a cosmic horror, like visualize. I think there's a reason that a lot of like media these days like reference the works, right? It's like the atmosphere and the storytelling is what gets people really interested. Visual cosmic horror is difficult, I think, because I don't know, like even in recent games these years, like a lot of the, I guess, grotesque monster designs are, you know, just there, but just to be able to create something of a certain scale and have it feel like it's like a unimaginable horror kind of thing is really hard to do. I feel like if you actually saw this in real life, like experienced it like firsthand, it would be something you would be kind of about. It'd feel like a nightmare. Basically, you're living inside a nightmare when you go through this. Yeah. It's like you're just like half asleep and you have those like weird dreams about creatures you've never seen before. Yeah. Do you think we could ever see you reading Lovecraft's work for us on a stream? Probably not. Probably not. I don't... As I said before, if I have fun with this stream, I think chat has fun with this stream, and I don't really enjoy reading things out loud. I'll be completely honest with you, I don't like reading things out loud too much. And it's probably not bad. it's probably best not to, yeah. For many reasons. Yeah, so if I'm not really having fun, then I don't know. I probably am not confident to make it a fun stream. Hmm. But yeah, I really like it when they. I mean, if there are games and stuff that incorporate the stories, like this one, Dagon was a very short game, but I enjoyed it because I really liked seeing the atmosphere, and it like gets me thinking, gets my artist senses like thinking, you know. Those are kind of nice, but just reading out on stream, like my brain is focused on reading that. I can't think about other stuff. Yeah. Creative brain juices, exactly. Hmm. Yeah, I would really love if we could play Bloodborne or Souls games, but it be it. But yeah. But that's it for today. It was a very, very short stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Could also really check out the visual novel for yourself. It's on Steam. Hmm. I think it's free too, so anyone can just try it with the option for DLCs. Yeah. It'd be interesting if the developer, you know, comes up with different like series like this, like more down the line with the different stories. That'd be really interesting, I think. Hmm. Yeah, very, very short stream. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this one also has VR mode. So if you guys wanted to, you know, you've watched me play it, but if you want to experience it for yourself and you happen to have a VR headset, I think that's a very good way to experience it as if you're actually there. Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very, very much everyone for coming to watch today. Yeah, it was a short stream today. Yeah. I mean, it is only like 30 minutes ish of gameplay, and we're almost at an hour ish. But yeah, short, nice and short and sweet. But tomorrow is gonna be a drawing stream. And remind me to make the capybara emote tomorrow, because I feel like I might forget. But yeah, I think I'm gonna save some energy for tomorrow. I know other members have exciting streams tonight, so make sure you check them out too. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for all the super chats. Welcome to all the new members, all the members, all the members, all the viewers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I hope you guys don't have a nightmare after this. Don't have nightmares. Dream of Ina. Yes, only Ina. Until next time, take care. Have a wonderful rest of the morning, afternoon, evening. I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye! 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 Wow.